Hey guys, I am back. Welcome back to Stumpitude. Just a little fuzz in it. There we go. So we're going to be doing something a little different today. I've been saying that a lot lately. I've been trying to do stuff that's a little bit different. So I've got the external mic on today. I'm going back and forth between internal and external. The reason I don't like using the external mic is simply because very often I forget to turn the damn thing on, which is what happened for the entire first clip of this video when I first filmed it, and then we get absolutely no audio out of it. So, but today we're going to look at the difference between a factory fresh ZT0300 and a factory serviced like Refurb 0301. Now this 0300 and the 301 are essentially the exact same knife, okay? Zero Tolerance is a high-end brand, right? Just like many high-end brands, they have, a free, I don't know if refurbishing is the right word to use. So Benchmade has their Life Sharp service. Chris Reeves has the spa treatment. I don't know exactly what ZT calls it, but so when you have a knife, for basically the lifetime of the knife, you can send it in, they will sharpen it, they'll look at any mechanical error, problems or errors, and they'll take care of stuff like that. And for most of it, it's free. Now, like with Benchmade, I know sometimes if they have to replace the entire blade, sometimes it's free, sometimes there's a minimal charge depending on, if it's your fault for abusing it, or if it's just, basic, you've used the crap out of the knife and it's worn down. If there's screws missing, they'll replace them. If the knife has become off-center from like years of use, they'll tune it up for you and everything, and they'll clean it all out. So most of the high-end companies do this kind of service for you. And this is a great unique experience to check out a knife that has just freshly returned from that service versus one that has, now I've had this for a while. I've had this for a few years. It has never really been carried, because when I got it, I don't know, it just didn't feel right. So I've had this model 0300 Blackwash since the Florida days. And it is a good, this is a tank of a knife. This is kind of ZT's answer to, the Benchmade 275, the Adamus. It is a hell of a knife. S30V, titanium frame lock, big heavy G10 scale with stainless steel liner on there. It is a beast, and it's a spring assist knife too. It's a good knife. I'm not saying it's not, it's just the feel. And now I always say I like a heavy knife, but something about the weight on this, it wasn't for me. A lot of people love this knife though, they do. You got your four-way positionable clip. You got your Hinderer style lock stop there so you don't over travel your lock. It's a really good knife. So, but the point is, this thing it's like almost factory new, because it's just been basically a collection queen since the day I got it. So the edge on here really hasn't done much. It's like testing out a new knife. This comes to me from a great dude. I want to give him full credit. So he goes by PanteraMan1 in the Discord server. He comments on videos. I actually know him in real life too. He works with us at Patriot Army and Coatings. He's our tech guy. He's not our tech guy. He's a tech guy. He works for a lot of different companies. He's got his own business, but he's awesome. He's got a huge collection. I trade with him. He ogles my stuff. I ogle his stuff. That sounds really bad, right? But no, he's got some really cool stuff in his collection, and I have traded with him before, and we always have a good time showing off, knives to each other. So he bought this, or trade, I can't remember, but it was used, and he immediately sent it off to ZT for their lifetime service, and he got it back, and he kind of offered it up to me and said, would you like to do a video, before I take it and start using it? And I said, yeah, that'd be awesome, and I have one that I can measure it against. That's really cool. This is the 0301 ST. So this is kind of a special edition one. You can see it's got the Strider-like stripes on the blade. The very unique Kershaw ZT serrations there. Number 42, not bad. But essentially it is the same knife, same blade steel, same model and everything. So it's a really great opportunity for us to check out a factory fresh blade and one of their refurbished kind of, let's take a look at it. You can see it's got a really nice coating, and I think they recoated the lock side on that. OD G10. It feels really good. That spring is just as tense. I don't know if they redid the spring, and this is one of the things that I didn't like about carrying this. It's not a great one-handed closing. It's great one-handed opening, obviously, because of spring. But spring tension is just as good coming back. Great snappy sound. Now, one of the things you can see is if you want to check out the lifetime of use on this one, do you see the difference in the lockup there? You can tell one of these has not really been used that much, and one of these has been used quite a bit based on where the lockup sits. You can also take a look at the blade. So they didn't replace this blade, obviously. I mean, it's got all the markings and the serial number on it, but you can see the wear on this blade, and it has been used, right? But also take a look at the edge on that. Now that looks like a freshly sharpened ground edge. Let's start with, oops, not bad. Now I'm gonna try really hard not to get the serrations in on this because that's gonna screw it all up, but yep, I just did it. I just got the serrations in it. It's awesome as long as you don't put the serrations in. Yeah, it's very sharp. Just trying not to catch the serrations in there. So it comes back just as factory sharp. You just gotta not get your serrations in there. So here's the original. Do our pull through. And I'm gonna do it on the same big area of the belly that we do it on the 301. Nice, not the cleanest cut, little tiny bit of effort, not bad, not bad. And let's do a slice here. Okay. Very nicely done. Now let's get our spot treatment, whatever we're calling it, pull through. Wow, even better actually than the original. And I feel like there's an even better edge coming back from the treatment on this than there was on the original, blade. So yeah, still catching that one little string there. I feel like, really seriously, the edge on here is just a slight bit better than the original factory ground edge. It's really nicely done. Let's see if we can catch a little bit of the two of them together. So, a lot of times when we talk about high-end knife, we're not just talking about the design of the knife, and we're not just talking about the material on the blade or the handle or anything like that. High-end speaks a lot to what you're buying outside of just the shape of the knife. When you buy a high-end knife, you're also buying into the company and the package and what they give you. And so in the case of ZT, and like we mentioned some of the other brands before, you're not just getting the physical product, you're getting the backing of what they believe in of their knife, and a company that says, look, we believe in this product. If you have a problem with it, you send it back to us and we'll take care of it. I mean, you can get a good knife, sometimes a great knife, for a lower cost, but that's all you're getting. You're getting what comes in that box, and then you're on your own and that's it. Whereas when you get something like ZT, like Spyderco, I think Spyderco has a similar, you know, thing, I'm not sure, but you know, you get a Chris Reeves Sebenza, you're paying a lot of money, but you're getting that knife for a lifetime, because you can always reach out to Chris Reeves Knives and say, hey, I need help with my knife, or hey, I need a refurbish, I need to send it in for spot treatment. You know, hey, I want a perfect edge on this and I don't want to do it myself. And you have that. That's always, you know, you're not just paying Hinderer. Hinderer has that too. You can send it back to the ranch. You're not just paying for the steel and the titanium and the G10. You're paying for the servicing, and you're paying for that lifetime guarantee and that knowledge. So it's something we don't often think about when we're buying a knife, you know? Not just the outright investment in materials, but that peace of mind and that support system of taking care of it as well. I know that not everybody has the option to think that far ahead and to consider those sort of things and factor it in, but it is something to think about. You know, I always say, whenever possible, don't just spend, you know, a cheap amount of money on a cheap knife for right now and then have to replace it and replace it and replace it. If you can invest a good amount of money in a good knife, do that, and that knife will last you. If you can spend a more, you know, higher amount of money in a great knife, do that, because that knife is going to last you. And this is part of what goes into some of those really great knives. So I just thought it would be interesting. I mean, you know, Pantera Man thought it would be interesting to share this with me, and I said, wow, what a great idea, what a great concept for a video. And maybe I can do a little series where we look at knives returned from, you know, other companies and compare them to the factory fresh ones as well. But ZT does a great job returning some of these beat up knives to like new condition. Yeah. So what do you guys think? Do you think that it's worth it? I mean, yes, the knives are awesomely built, but do you think it's worth it for the investment, for some extra bucks, to have that sort of backup, that peace of mind, that support from the company, you know, to have a spot treatment or whatever else you want to call it available to you? I mean, because like for ZT, it's free. You just got to pay shipping. You got to pay to ship your knife to them. They'll pretty it up and then send it back. Like I said, some companies will charge you a little bit here and there. I don't know exactly, but most of the time it's free. It's free, you know, unless you have damaged it and they need to replace parts due to negligence or something. What do you guys think? Anybody want to share some cool stories about, you know, a knife that has been heavily beat up and then refurbished or anything like that? I should also mention that a lot of the time, even if you buy a knife secondhand, that, you know, you don't have to have the receipt, is what I'm saying. You know, like you buy a Benchmade from your buddy, you don't even have to have the box anymore. You own that Benchmade. You have the Benchmade Life Sharp guarantee. But in the meantime, remember, you guys are all totally awesome. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll be back again real soon.